There we go. Right. Pause that. Hello and good evening to everyone who has joined me on a Wednesday for another Jack London stream. I've probably decided that because I've done no music-based streams on this stream yet, I'm probably going to start a second channel for that, and keep this as the one where I get my interesting guests on, my bass guests, my conspiratorial guests, my friends. I've got a pal who's just spent 3 months in Trump's America, and he's desperate to go and live back out there. He doesn't want to come home. He didn't want to come home, so I'd love to get him on, and get his opinion on why he thinks it's better out there. He's only a 23-year-old lad, so you know I've got 20 years on the bastard, so that should be coming up soon, shortly as well, next week. Also, you've got to be careful when you're running the old free StreamYard. They only like to give you 20 hours a month. That's why I've had to make sure that mine and William's stream tonight is only an hour and a half long, to make sure that I've got an hour and a half for Mrs. Me in it tomorrow, who's coming on for a bit of an ooky spooky paranormal afterlife. She said she's always had the gift, so that should be an interesting stream as well. So without further ado, I am going to introduce tonight's guest. He's sat there patiently in the back room here. So here we go. Good evening, Mr. TLBNAWKI. How do people say that again?
TLBNAWKI.
TLBNAWKI. It does sound like a indigenous Indian name. TLBNAWKI.
Yeah, possibly.
Dances with wolves. Dances with buckfast.
Yeah. That would be a polite way of putting it. So yeah, I'll take that.
You'll take that. You'll take that. And I'm loving the avatar tonight. If anyone doesn't know where that's from, that's Michael Douglas from the film Falling Down, which I think a lot of white men in their mid-40s feel like carrying out right now.
Yeah. Although I'm still in my 30s, so
yeah, I know. All right, don't boast. Don't like boasters. How many nippers you got again? You've got a couple. You got triple nippers, have you?
3.
Yeah, lovely. What's their age ranges?
Now you're asking. I'm glad my wife's not listening.
Yeah, she'd be giving you some.
So my youngest,
like you put them there, mate.
My youngest is 9. Then the middle one that's their names, by the way, 12, and the eldest is now 18. So
blimey, you started young, didn't you?
A mixed bag, but
you started young then.
What it is.
Yeah, I was 25. Well, I've only got one biological daughter. I've got a few who I've raised, but biologically, yeah, I've got, and she's 18 this year myself. So yeah, bless her, stuck in a multi-culti hellhole over in England. It's tragic, really. Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Yeah.
Whereabouts in England?
In Hampshire.
Okay.
So only 45 minutes from the big smoke, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been to? Have you ever spent much time in England at all?
Not really, no. Nah.
No, I don't.
I'm not that stupid.
Yeah. Well, listen, if you didn't get the jab, then like being a Scotsman and going, oh yeah, it'd be a really good idea to take a trip to England. You'd have passed and failed an intelligence test in one foul swoop, wouldn't you?
Story of my life.
Story of my life. Right, so I thought we'd get this stream out a bit earlier for you tonight as well, because I don't want you to be walking your dog at bloody 1:30 in the morning, unless you prefer to do that.
I don't mind. I've done it before, so.
Is your dog is good with other dogs?
He's good, but he can run up, and he doesn't bite or anything like that. But you can never be sure with people. I
No,
tend to
no,
think he
no.
might
Yeah,
scare someone, might get scared, but he's a good dog. I mean, he'll run away. He'll run up and then he'll run away. So he'll run
yeah.
up to sniff a
What
dog,
kind
and
of a dog?
then
Is he? What kind of a dog is he?
Labrador, brown lab.
Oh, beautiful. What they call a chocolate lab.
Aye, yep. You
Lovely.
probably. I don't know if I'm allowed to call it a brown lab these
Yeah, you're
days,
probably
so
probably,
might get
probably
arrested.
on some list. Yeah.
Uh,
Um, just say a few hellos to people who've joined us in the chat. Hello, Ams, my darling, all the way from Finland. Chaz Smash, me too, 34. She Dotty's in. Refuse Nick Sean, you are like you're here. Come rain, come shine. You're. Thank you so much. Tight Scotsman, is that one of yours?
that's a bit racist. That. Come on, Jack.
No. I'm simply reading two words that are tight together. I can tell you all the Scottish jokes about how copper
What are we
wire was
6
invented and
minutes
all
in?
that.
What are we
The thing
six?
is, like, the whole tight Scotsman thing, you can completely intersperse them with Israeli jokes, Jewish jokes as well, can't you? That's
Let's not go there.
let's
But yes,
not go
it
there.
only took. Hey, it only took 6 minutes, and we're Scott bashing already.
Yeah, and kind of half Israeli bashing too. So yeah.
Aye, but we won't say that. You'll be getting kicked off before you've started.
That's it. Before I even get going. Right. Okay. So first thing I wanted to ask you, mate, is you do the way I listen to your streams is if I'm sort of awake and sort of being observant, I will join in the chat. Because I find it interesting, and I mean, like you've got like what 30,000 subs, I think, haven't you? Something along the lines of that, which is
Not
incredible. Well, it's not far off that, though, is it?
Yeah. Although it seems to just go down for the time being, so it seems to come.
I mean,
listen,
if you're any sort of dissident, or if you're coming from any other sort of point other than the mainstream narrative, you're always. It's like these people that come out of nowhere, right? Now I've got nothing really bad to say about him because what he's saying is very interesting, and I find him interesting. But this Ian Carroll fella, you know, the guy with the moustache.
I don't think I do.
Now he's just blown up out of nowhere. He's been on Joe Rogan's show. He's been on Candice Williams' show, and he's everywhere at the moment. And he's calling out all the right people for all the right reasons. But it does always make me think, I guess some people just get lucky, right? They just hit that algorithm gets them at the right time. And, you know, I reckon if I showed you a picture of him, which I'm not going to be able to because StreamYard have fucked around again with all of their settings. I wanted to show you a really good, at some point tonight, I will try and get it uploaded. Have you seen the trailer for Passport Man?
I've not. No, someone did share it. Well, they sent it to me, but I've not looked at it.
It's so good. It's like a new superhero, and his suit is made out of terrorist passports. so he's basically indestructible.
Yeah, quite funny because
it's so funny. There's a scene on it where they go, "We found him. It's Passport Man," and the general goes, "Okay, let the 5 dancers go immediately."
It's quite funny, honest, because only about maybe 3-4 weeks ago, I made a joke about, I can't remember what exactly it was, but I said it should have been made out of passports and red bandanas, because in Shanksville...
that was an old stream.
Yeah, possibly. On Flight 93,
they found a
terrorist's bandana.
Yeah. So the plane had disintegrated into basically the earth, right? Had vaporized, but they were like, look at this red bandana that a terrorist must have used. Perfect. Is it in one of the museums, I believe?
Yeah, the 9/11 Memorial Museum. And
it's amazing what they try to make you fucking believe, isn't it?
if you look at the museum, it costs $33 to get in.
Of course it does.
Yeah, I mean, there you go.
Of course it does. Jesus, that is the thing, right? I always got told when I went down. Now, me and you have had this discussion, and you know that I believe that there's a truther industrial complex working alongside the actual truth movement, and they are there to completely muddy the waters to try and send you down these fake paths of conspiracy. Listen, we know it was in the JFK hearings, wasn't it? The Warren Commission, where the term these conspiracy theorists is where the term was first used for the JFK hearing, and it's always been a term to make people try and look stupid, like they're a bit gaga, like they're not the full ticket, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's it's so my journey, and you can tell me your journey, please, and I'd be really interested to hear it. Was basically was Jordan Maxwell. Now, if you know anything about Jordan Maxwell, you know he was actually a bit of a con man. His real name was Tony Pine, and he'd been done for fraud and what have you. And he really knew about neural linguistic programming, because you could listen to 24 hours of Jordan Maxwell's talks, like 2-hour talks. You could listen to 12 of them in a row, and you're going to hear the same thing repeated over and over again until it's in you, right? That whole thing about do you know the whole thing he does about being like, do you understand, like the meaning of the word understand? I don't know if you know that particular part.
I don't think so, no. But I know he goes on about the word origin and stuff like that.
Yes, and he'll break down words. He'll break down a word. Like for example, Israel. He says it's Isis, it's Ra, and it's Elohim. Right. That's what that's his interpretation of it. But amongst the bullshit, I do believe there was a lot of truth amongst it, and this is the problem. This is how the waters get muddied in the truth in the community. So Jordan Maxwell, and then when I realised he was only sort of taking me one way. I mean, I even went down the path of. Do you remember Project? With the crazy hair, with the crazy blonde woman, Project Camelot, was it? And they'd have these men on who said they were super soldiers who'd been fighting like 8-foot alien bugs on Mars and all stuff like that. Yeah. And Project Camelot, I think it was called. Yeah.
I think so.
There was a guy called Stuart Swerdel, and he said he was one of the boys from the what was that project they did up in New York in the Cold War with the psychic children that Stranger Things was based on?
Oh,
it came to me then.
Philadelphia.
No, it's kind of linked with that, but that was more like Tesla, wasn't it? The Philadelphia experiment. That was where they tried to make the shit disappear. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it the
Montauk?
Yeah, that's it.
Montauk. Yeah. I mean, it's all interesting, and it was all to do with mind control and frequencies, and they had all these mad array of radars, and you'd stand there and you'd feel weird just from this energy. But apparently, if you stand under a high voltage power line, you don't see animals ever standing under high voltage power lines when they're in the field, because it gives off a horrible frequency.
That's never crossed my mind before, but I'll keep a lookout now, because I pass quite a lot of them. I mean, without a doubt, there's stuff that we can't see that we clearly feel in some way, shape, or form. And when you look at that, and now it's everywhere. They've got devices everywhere, fucking towers everywhere, constantly.
So you don't tend to find birds on Billy Bloggs is saying, what about birds here? You don't tend to find birds, and if you can prove me wrong with pictures or footage, Billy, I'm willing to talk about it.
I tend to see birds on them. I see birds on them.
Yeah, but you don't tend to see them on the very high, the 415 kilovolt
The actual,
lines, the big
that I'm
power
not
lines.
sure.
You'll usually see them on the 11,000 lines, which is the ones you'll see running around your town and that. And obviously they can, it's three-phase power, and they somehow they understand that they're okay by standing on one of them. But if they were to spread their
Well,
wings
yeah, I
and
did
become the
hear that.
potential
Yeah.
between the three, they would just, you'd have an instant microbird. Yeah, so that's the Montauk project, and a lot of that got sucked into this, the Truther industrial complex. People wanted to make out they were part of it. They were part of these buoys that were stolen, and they were made to go astrally travel and look for nuclear sites in Russia in their little cubes and stuff like that. All ties into MK Ultra, Monarch, Mockingbird, all of those things that were go. They haven't stopped, by the way. They're just not as much talked about anymore.
And that's the only, when you think about it as well, the scary part for me is, yeah, we know that they told us about that, but what are they not telling us about?
What was the UK's version of MK Ultra? We must have had one.
I'm not sure, but there was an operation called Dice, and it was in the 1970s, and basically the British military, the Royal Air Force, sprayed a chemical that mimicked anthrax. So they sprayed it from the aircraft. They sprayed it from the back of a vehicle, and another way I can't remember.
This isn't on that island off the
No,
off the
this is
west coast.
on the mainland UK.
Because I know about that island off the west coast that like no human can go there for 500 years.
Look it up. It'll probably have its own Wikipedia. It would be Dice.
It's amazing that it just goes to show you, like, with false flags, things like that. There's nothing they won't do to the
Oh Jesus! There is no boundary.
Civilian population. How many times have America sprayed their own people with stuff, or let bugs go that have got certain diseases in them? You know, the Tuskegee
flags. Yeah.
Was it the Tuskegee Airmen? They all gave syphilis.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. There's no level that these people won't go to.
Oh no, there is no boundary. That's what I mean. There's no to them, to the people that control these sort of things. There's no boundary. There's no border, and to them, we're like the enemy. And I've said that constantly. We are basically at war, and the enemy is the people that oversee us. Like, without saying too much. Obviously the government and beyond that, the people that pull the strings, but a lot of people see it. And do you know what? It's since 2020, more and more people, quite astonishing the amount of people that have sort of noticed it for the true nature of the beast. They've seen it in all its glory.
But I mean, I can't pick a figure. Rags always says 80-20. I mean, what was that the kind of breakdown to who took the jab and who took the jab? Was it really that little?
I think it was maybe they got not far away from half juiced. But that's all they never needed to get everybody anyway. It's the same with everything that they do. They only need to fool so many of the people, and then the herd mentality sort of kicks in, and they've got their ways of
the herd mentality instead of herd immunity.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they've got their slogans as well, of course. So,
yeah. Did you hear about I did a show on Sunday, and I was talking about Scott Adams. You know, the Dilbert comic creator. When now he fell for it hook, line, and sinker, and he I don't think he was pushing the jab, but he admitted that he got the jab. And then he quite bravely did a video, I think in 2021, 2022, saying that the anti-vaxxers were completely right. We're completely vindicated. not trusting your government is
Oh
a
yeah,
good position
yeah.
to have, right? And the poor fucker's now got a turbo cancer.
Mm-hmm. I
He's
did see that.
dying. Yeah, he's dying. And he
And
came out and
that's a common thread now.
yeah,
That's a
yeah.
common thread. And
Unfortunately.
people are still getting it. People
Yeah,
are
mate.
still, I
I
mean, I
know.
shouldn't laugh. I really shouldn't laugh, but people are still fucking getting it. And that blows me away. I mean, today, after everything that we've seen, and people like us, well, I can only kind of speak for myself, but from day one, and I'm not going there. I would not be going there under any circumstances. It's not happening.
Now the jabs weren't a thing, weren't even in like the thought of anyone's mind. But I remember it being March the 22nd, 2020, when Boris came on the telly and announced the first lockdown.
Yeah.
And it was me and my mum. My dad had been passed for a year or so. I was struggling with addictions issues and that, but I was getting better, and I was just it was just basically me and my mum spending as much time together. It was a lovely. Do you remember the first lockdown? The weather.
Summer, yeah, it was great. It was
It
like
was
a wee bit like
March,
this
and it was like
summer.
summer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
was out in the garden. I was
All this
pushing weights
spring.
every day. I was pushing
Mm-hmm.
myself. I was going for runs and everything. I was eating clean.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time he came on, and I said to my mum, and she could quote me on it, and I often still get her to tell people when we're in the vicinity. I say, Mum, tell people what I said the first time. You said it was a load of bollocks, and you wouldn't be going along with it. So,
In a nutshell, that's the
in a
best way to put it.
nutshell, yeah,
Yeah.
it was just I was never locked down. I did
Mm-hmm.
exactly
Same.
as I was. Obviously, there were places
Yeah.
I couldn't go. I couldn't go to my gym. That's why I ordered stuff for the home gym. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was the same. Kept going out. I mean, to be
yeah,
honest, I'm not saying that I preferred it, but it was out in the summer and being nobody was about. Do you know, me and one of my
right. Me and my
one
mate,
of my
me and
best
my mate
friends,
were. Me and my mate had got our first ever contact for the imported California weed. Yeah, I was a big stoner back then. Yeah, and me and him were driving up every other day to London and Richmond, and the only other traffic on the road were Arctic lorries doing all the deliveries. And me
I've
and
been to
him would,
Richmond.
yeah. You been to Richmond?
Yeah.
You been to like Hampton Court and that?
No, I didn't. I went to the castle and I stayed in Richmond for a weekend.
Yeah, yeah. That's nice. Listen, it's it
Beautiful.
just lovely, but but how much longer?
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But we were doing that, and
You can
and
always
then
move
and
up
then.
here. You can move up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you away from everything, higher? Yeah, you say you've only got like a wee little
Pretty.
village just beyond you, isn't it?
Aye, well, I mean, even we're being infected, to put it like that.
Mm.
Even we're being infected here, but it's not quite as bad. And they tend to not like it here, to be honest. So, but
No, it's too cold for them. There's nothing for them to
yeah,
do because they don't like walking and climbing
it
mountains
is
and fucking.
I mean, where I am in Murrayshire itself is decent place. It's quite a decent place to stay. So if you are ever stuck, you could probably come here and get a house quite easily. To be honest, they tend to just give them away. There's not any homeless or anything like that. People get housed
You know,
automatically.
well, I won't say too much, but I had a meeting with the housing executive here yesterday because obviously Rags is moving on. He's getting his purpose-built unit, which he's needed for 5 years. God
Hmm.
bless him. I'm so proud for him and so happy for him.
Yeah.
It leaves me in a bit of a quandary. I thought I had a little bit more time, but the universe kind of did a weird thing. I'd been for a meeting. I'd had a mental health appointment with the doctor because I couldn't get a general practitioner. So they said, "Oh, I could give you a mental." I was like, "Oh, I'll take whatever." And then within a couple of days, I had a phone call for social worker, and then she booked me a meeting with the housing executive, which I went to yesterday. What day are we? Wednesday. Yeah, I went to yesterday.
Yeah.
And things are happening now, but there might be a certain period of time where I've got to find somewhere to go. And I do fortunately have somewhere to go, but it would mean going down into the Republic of Ireland and shifting up at me mum's new place for a couple of weeks. But yeah, it's just I've just got to follow procedure, mate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally get you. Sorry, I got distracted there. Hey, you might it might be the best move you've ever made when you if you go into the Republic.
No, I don't want to live in the Republic, mate. I don't want to go back into Europe. It would. It's where and I say that like with a pinch of irony after what's happened this week with fucking Keir and Ursula von der Leyen on her back. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, the Republic.
It's catch-22. We didn't matter where you went. You're going to have all pros and cons anywhere.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Just do whatever you feels right.
Yeah. So listen, have you been? I know that I watched interacted, and then felt tired, so I had you just on in the background of your last Jetflix and Lies stream. Oh, yeah. Very interesting with these geoengineering companies that are now popping out of everywhere. Look what we can do. Grow back the fucking. What was it? They wanted to grow back the coral reef. Is it?
Yeah, seemingly,
yeah. You've got Mr. Burns, fucking David Miliband, who wants to fucking put a big blot out on the sun.
I know, fucking unreal. Do you know, I used to laugh about that one as well. Then the more I thought about it, I thought, fucking hell, wait a minute, it's going to be some form of weapon or some sort of laser.
If they're on about if it's all about carbon dioxide, which it seems to be, that's the demon, isn't it? Carbon dioxide, carbon, basically, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's all centered. It's all centered on the holy grail, which is net zero, the golden carrot, the unachievable goal that they know it's never achievable, so they dangle it and say, right, that's the target, but you'll never get there. But so they keep throwing in solutions. Well, if we do this. And geoengineering is
that's the case because they've already gone right. We're going to have to move this back another 5 years. That's going to have to be moved back another 10 years. So yeah, it is the carrot and the stick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's So that's what you've been researching lately. Now I know you've got some more stuff coming up about the fact that man definitely landed on the moon in July 1969. And you've got more stuff coming up about how 2 planes managed to take out 3 buildings.
Yeah. Well, it's actually 7 buildings that got destroyed. So
7 buildings. 3 of them probably more known to people. Obviously, World Trade Center 1, World Trade Center 2, they got the direct hits.
Well, there was actually 9. There's actually, if you include the 2, because 2 buildings, whatever they used, because in a lot of people's opinions, due to the evidence we see, there was 2 buildings that were kind of infected by whatever exotic technology was used to take down these buildings, and it was basically like a gash out the face of the building, which you would think, well, would be quite easy to sort. But somehow this building, it was like rotting inside out. It was rusting at a rapid rate, which some people like Dr. Judy Wood point to an effect from being somehow hit by whatever weapon was used or technology was used on that day to take down the towers. So 9 buildings, it would be 9 buildings in total. There was another church as well, seemingly. The same idea.
Now, are these without going off like the limb of like massive conspiratorial? Like, could these not just have been buildings damaged by so much masonry and steel and glass? Now you have 3 buildings, as far as I'm aware, WTC 1, WTC 2, Building 7, that literally fell in their own footprint, like a controlled demolition.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple more that are pretty much there's a wee bit left, but some of them are completely gone. You can see it clearly.
Mm.
So all the
Yeah,
WTC, it was all the WTC buildings.
right. Okay, and obviously, what makes Building 7 so interesting is the day before, Donald Rumsfeld come out and say we've got a 21 trillion budget black hole. We don't know where it's gone. We're doing our best to audit it, and that building happened to have all that paperwork in.
Yep. Just a coincidence.
Yeah, just a coincidence. Now, you've seen the videos of it. It's a big black guy, isn't it? Who, because that's also where the
Barry Jennings.
Barry Jennings, because that's
Yeah.
also where any emergency in New York, like two planes flying into the World Trade, that was meant to be the operating center. That was where everything was going to be headquartered from, right? And he said he got into the building with one other guy. His name escapes me. And he said on that floor that was meant to be the head of operations for emergencies, there were half-eaten sandwiches. Coffee was still steaming.
Yeah, that's right.
It had not long been abandoned. And as he says, as he was coming down the stairs, there was a huge explosion from underneath him.
In the basement, I think.
In the basement, that blew him back up a few floors. Which none of this to this day is explained. And did he change his story? And is he now dead?
Yeah, he did die.
Right.
Yeah, I did read that. I was unsure about Barry in terms of how much you could believe, but I think majority of what he said, he was being honest. But I'm unsure. See, there's so much in there when it comes to any of these events. They put out so much different theories. It's overloaded, and that way you're swimming in a sea of deception, and you're struggling to get to the root or the real issue. But I don't know. He was an interesting one because I know the guy Corbett. He covered it. 9/11.
James Corbett's done some of the best work, I believe, on 9/11.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. I think I did say that. I mean, hey, when it comes to me, I seem to never trust anybody anyway. So
Right.
I'm a wee bit unsure of James, but I understand he's done a lot.
Now he's a Canadian living in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I followed him when he going back maybe, I don't know, maybe even eight years ago. He was on YouTube originally. And,
all he's got left on there is Corbett Report extras now, and they're his documentaries, like the World War I conspiracy. Have you ever seen that?
I think possibly, yeah.
And who is Bill Gates?
Did that come out in what? It was 2021, I think, maybe.
Yeah, they're such fascinating. Like I actually would say that out of all of the, there's only a few. I think Whitney Webb's very good with the Epstein stuff. Will you say you mean?
Yeah, I know of her. I don't. She's not one that I follow. I do know of her though.
I think she's very, very good with the Epstein stuff. I think The Last American Vagabond is just very good with everything.
Yeah, quite like him.
He's been on Christian
quite a lot. Yeah,
I think Richie Allen is very good. And I'm I can say it, I'm very pleased, and I really do hope you get on there. And please, when you do get a date, plug, because we'll get that plug for you.
Cool. Good man.
He's had such interesting people on. Have you ever heard him talk to Nick Kollerstrom, who doesn't think he's mainly known for Holocaust denial, but he did a big thing about the 7/7.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think I recall.
He's written a book. Written a book about it all. Yeah. He thinks that they were MI5 patsies who were sent out to make it look like they were doing that, but it was only meant because, again, this is the weird thing, right? So on 9/11, you had NORAD, the North American Air Defense people, right? Who are the same. Canada and America share NORAD, right? And they were doing an exercise that morning about hijacked planes being flown into tall buildings in America.
Yep.
And that's when you hear that famous thing where the lady operator is saying to the pilot, this plane is flown, and he says, "Is this real world or exercise?"
Yeah.
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 Because he literally, that's the exercise they were doing that morning. And then woe behold, on the 7th, they were doing exactly the same kind of exercise. Multiple bombs going off on the London Underground.
Yeah, remember one of the guys got interviewed by BBC News, and he said, "Well, we were just down the road doing an exercise for the exact
you
scenario."
know what? Mathematicians have worked out what the trillions to one chance it would be, because it was the same stations involved as well.
Yeah.
So
I think on 9/11 as well, FEMA, the day before it, they were in New York, and it's a bit shady in terms of what they were doing there. The day before a planned exercise was due to take place on 9/11. So that's quite an interesting one. I mean, when it comes to the 9/11, there's so much. I think in the past few years, that's probably one of the biggest topics I've looked into. That there's so much connected to it, man. It's just a staggering amount of stuff that you can. It's a rabbit hole you can struggle to get out of. To be fair.
Oh, it's a you could go down what rabbit holes are like, and that's why they use the terminology, because you go down one rabbit hole and then you end up in a warren, and unless you're that one of the rabbits that constantly lives there, you can end up that's why they send down bloody ferrets and stuff to drive them out, right?
Yeah, definitely. But it's, I mean, there is a kind of draw to it. Do you know, like, there's certain subjects that I'll sort of dive into. Clearly, I mean, nobody's got the time to really look deep into every single subject. So I tend to just whatever I fancy. And then over the years, I've been somehow drawn to 9/11, the moon landing, Apollo, NASA, geoengineering as well, in particular. And I said in 2020 and 2021, when I talked about geoengineering then, I said, look, this is an unpopular topic. I get it. But a lot of it has to be said. And I said, look, I can guarantee you in the next few years down the line, it's going to be a huge topic. And it's going to be everywhere. Everybody's going to be talking about it. And we're slowly, I mean, we're pretty much there. But it's getting to a point where, because I reckon they will, I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I genuinely hope that I'm fucking wrong. I reckon they're going to come out and say, look, we're going to need to do it because of the weather that they've manipulated. We're going to carry out geoengineering. And where we go from there, I don't know. But basically, the whole chemtrail theory, if you like, that'll be a thing of the past when they do go all out in the open. And it'll be the perfect cover for the already committed crime. But it will be chemtrail. The theory will be a thing of the past because people will just say, "Well, that's geoengineering. It's not mind control or whatever you want to call it." And do you know this? I did think in 2020, when the lockdown came and what have you, and the juice and the certain mandates, I thought people are going to fucking say, "Hey, wait a minute. We're not having it. We're going to unite and we're going to stand up and say, nah, fuck you. We're not doing it." But I mean, there was next to nothing in the way of kickback. But see, when it comes to geoengineering, if people don't somehow unite and push it back and prevent it, there's nothing that we're going to stand up against. Because if we can't stand up against the pandemic, and if we can't stand up against this, they could walk all over us, and we're going to do nothing, man. I mean, is that how far gone we are as a people, as societies? Are we too far down the line?
Listen, I'm never one for trying to just give people black pills. Like I said to my friend Ams the other day, I said, like, she said she was getting a bit black pilled with all the videos she was watching. Like, just listen, spring's here, summer's here, go take a walk, listen to some music, because I've been here, and if you stare into the abyss too long, it starts staring back at you, and you'll fall into it.
Yeah.
And if me and you were to get online and do a screen share of each other's YouTube recommendations, I don't think they'd be too far off.
Yeah, probably.
You know, and I think that's doing it for, like, now there definitely are experiments you can do. You could start an account. I don't have things like Instagram. I don't have things like TikTok. But I think if I started an Instagram account and all I wanted to watch was puppy and cat videos, I do think it would just give me puppy and cat videos. It wouldn't just suddenly randomly drop me like one of my
9/11.
Yeah, like what really happened on 9/11
Yeah.
explained by cats.
Unless they wanted to drop something in. Over time, it shows you how they can drip stuff in as well. They control what you're seeing through your news feed.
Absolutely.
And it's like, do you know they call it the news feed, like a hamster in a cage eating away at the feed bottle? They're a rat in a cage, maybe you could call it, but that's what I think of when I think of the news feed.
And I tell you what, just at this point in the stream, we're coming up to nearly halfway to the stream now. I just want to say, obviously, the incident happened in Liverpool today. I'm purposely not talking about it because I'm not that well informed on it. And I'm sure there are plenty of conspiracy theories out there. But I do just want to give my my utmost to Toffee. I know it was nothing to do with his football team, but it's his city. And I haven't heard from Toffee in a couple of days, and I hope he's doing all right. What a horrific thing to happen. So I guess we'll find out. What the crack is over the coming days. It was quite interesting that within 2 minutes you've got 53-year-old British white male.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah,
I thought was quite interesting. And they have set the precedence now.
Sorry, but do you see how quick that happened? Yet when you think back to remember that was it the young girls? And remember how long it took them.
Well, for a day, everyone thought he was a Welsh choir boy. So,
but I did notice with this. I don't know too much about the incident in Liverpool, but I have noticed there seems to be a lot of misinformation being put out already about it, surrounding it.
I've heard things with snipers and.
Yeah, I've seen the photo, but I don't know how true it was. I don't know if it's real or not. But I mean, again, they spin it. They're experts at how they work the spin. So any incident whatsoever, they're going to take it and spin it in how they want to use it. I mean, that's what they do, and they've even done it. I don't know if you noticed the incident with the guy Macron and his husband pushed him in the face. So they're having like Trani pushed him, poked him in the eye.
Big fucking red hand slap.
But have you seen the news? I don't know if you caught the Richie Allen show tonight, but they're on the news. I think the BBC maybe. They've somehow took that and spun it into misinformation, the use of misinformation, and Russian misinformation.
Yeah, Putin did it. It was Putin.
Yeah, and who people should trust and who they shouldn't. Out of that fucking incident, which was probably a staged incident anyway. I mean, the world is a stage, man. It could have been a Trani anger, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely look like man hands, I'm going to have to say.
Yep.
Definitely. And listen, with that story as well, it doesn't negate the fact that she was his fucking drama teacher in her 40s and he was like 15. There's still something very creepy and French about that.
Oh yeah, definitely, without a doubt.
Oh, so,
yeah. I've over time I've kind of learned that you've got to kind of sit and observe a particular situation that's unfolding before you jump the gun and draw any quick conclusions, a kind of knee-jerk conclusion. But the way social media is and what have you, it's instant, man. People want to be instantly saying, "Look, it was fucking this, that, and the next thing." And in a sense, we all kind of play into their hands where, we fall for it as well because we get set up. We play into their hands by trying to say, "Look, this is what actually happened," because nobody trusts the media. That's another key factor in it. No, there's no journalism out there. So who have people got to turn to for a reliable source? I mean, you go on to most people's social media, they'll go on to, and even that, they look at what happened with the riots and the people that were chucking in jail left, right, and centre for a tweet. I think there's even one female who's still in jail just now.
Are you on about the wife of the MP, Connolly?
I'm unsure. I can't remember her name, but
they told her plead guilty and you'll be all right. And she ended up getting 30 odd months.
That's the one.
Yeah, she'd have been better going through a Crown trial and describing and relaying her story because, there was no direct threat of violence. She was just like, I don't care if it gets burnt down. That's what she said. I don't care. She wasn't like, burn it. She wasn't like that guy from the Monty Python film, burn her.
Burn the witch.
Yeah, she turned me into a nuke.
Yeah. Yeah, it just shows you how where we've got to. I mean, how did we get here? How have we somehow allowed this to happen? Where we're at a point where you're getting thrown in jail for a tweet, yet you've got these murderers and pedophiles and corrupt MPs that should be serving life in fucking jail. The people that pushed the juice, the doctors, the big pharma, the MPs. I mean, if you're looking for justice in the world, you'll get it from no one but yourself.
Absolutely, because if there was justice in the world, Fauci would be in a fucking orange jumpsuit right now, working out the terms of his punishment. Right? Who else would you have in there? Or what was that absolute he looked like an ogre. He was out there every night with Boris. It looked like he rung the bells on the bloody Notre Dame. What Chris Whitty? Yeah, you go, Whitty. Yeah, absolute monster of a man. Yeah, he'd be in fucking prison.
He is.
He'd be in prison. Do you know who he'd be in with? I'd have him with the black gang as well. So he was. Every night, and he's like, right, my turn, homie.
I'd probably enjoy it actually. So maybe not the best place.
The thing is, it was the fucking autistic guy that took a photo of him, wasn't it? Remember, put his arm around him and went, Chris Whitty, pissed up. Yeah. Now he's the one who lost his job and fucking community service or whatever he had to do, didn't he?
That's right. That was during the whole scenario, I think, was it?
Yeah, that was during it. Yeah.
Remember that? Remember they were coming out on the news. Fucking, it felt like every single day on the wee podium with the big fucking sign, "Stay in,
every
don't
day."
Go out. Like the big obey sign. And then they're telling you've got their fucking. Oh, we've got the.
It was very much.
It's insane.
That's live thing, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're like, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Well, there's just 3 lizard people stood up there.
Pretty much. Yeah. See, I had one of them moments in at the very beginning, and I can remember it like it was fucking yesterday, man. And it was I was in a supermarket, and I was pushing the trolley, and the music stopped because it was I can't remember what song, but I noticed the music stopped, and because when I'm in, I'll sing along to the song and whatever's on.
Much to the annoyance. You don't want to know what I've been singing along to lately, mate. I've had that Kanye West song going around my brain. I've been whistling it in Lidl's.
Yeah, so I'm just there minding my own business, and then it stopped, and I noticed it, and then a voice like came over the tannoy talking about keeping your
Tannoy, my
distance.
word.
Yeah, keep your distance and remember to keep to the not too many people in one
Directional
space.
arrows and
Yeah, and I thought, fucking hell, wait a minute, what the fuck, man? Do you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
people talk about China and what have you. It was one of them moments where I thought, do you know what? Fuck you, man. Encroaching on my on my daily shop to fucking try and put fear into me about whatever it is you're promoting. Do you know you can't even go out and do your shopping without them breathing down your neck, man? I
It
mean, it
was
was
yeah, it was
the
crazy.
fear.
Above most big supermarkets now, they still got the red and green light. Obviously, it's not in use anymore, but I noticed it on the
Mhm.
Lidl the other day. They've still got the red and green light, like
Oh,
like
Jesus.
stop, go, stop, go. You know,
Yeah. I mean, when I think back, and I've spoke about this before, every time I think back to 2020, 21, 2, and 3, maybe, it's insane, man, when you think back. Everything that they done, and then pushing the juice
have you
constantly.
seen any of these people that have put together these? I'll tell you what. I played a video the other night. It was Al Mac and do you remember Urba Derba?
Hmm.
Do you
Yeah.
remember Urban Derba?
Yeah.
He's not been around for a few years now, but they're both musicians, and they did like a pastiche of "Freedom" by George Michael about the Vax song, and it showed a load of do you remember the one of the ones that always got me was the children's concert where they had the brass section and they had a mask on, but they had a
Oh,
square
fuck
cut out
yeah.
so they could play the
Fucking
drum.
hell. Yeah.
We lived through that.
Yeah. And then
We
you had the guy swimming in with his mask on.
Yeah, yeah. Or the police down at the beach in fucking
Oh,
West
yeah.
Wittering somewhere. There's just guy out there on his own, no one else around, paddleboarding, and they're nicking him.
Yep, reminded me of the one in Father Ted when he goes to the beach with Father Jack and he's like, "That's my flipping seat," and the boy's shouting at him. The guy's out with the whistle. Do you know the one where the whistle gets stolen? Do
Yes,
you know that one, Father Ted?
yes.
Yeah.
Someone said the Reaver disappeared. The Jolly. If you're thinking about the Jolly Reaver, he's still around, but under the Jolly Reaver. I don't know if that makes a difference to you, Mr. Cray, and I hope you and your lovely young boy are all right. Lovely boy.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then you had all the pictures of the athletes like
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, yeah. The
Sergio
stuff you're not
Aguero,
allowed to talk about.
people of that
Hmm.
stature going.
That's still happening right now as well. It's still going on now. I think
Yeah,
only recently.
the interview I had yesterday with the housing exec lady, she still had the clear plastic
Mhm. Oh
fucking
fuck's sake!
screen up. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I spoke to a guy at work, and we had got talking about needles somehow, and I was like, "Nah, I'm not. I don't go near needles. I can't look at a fucking needle." And he said, "Oh, so did you not get the juice back in the circus period?" He never said it like that, but you know what I mean. And
Did
I
he
said,
say? Do
"Nah."
you mean to say you haven't had the COVID-19 vaccine?
It wasn't quite like that, but he was asking more out of curiosity, and I was like, nah, I couldn't, I wouldn't take it. And he said, do you know what? I took one, and then ever since then, I've never been right.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
was like,
Many
I would never
cases,
take it again.
many such cases. My mum had
Yeah,
one. The Oxford AstraZeneca. 3 days later, she had a transiemic attack, which is basically a mini stroke. So,
yeah, fuck's sake.
yeah. Yeah. So you don't like needles full stop or just vaccines?
Full stop. Yeah,
You've got no tattoos then?
no tattoos. Nope. Pale as a
Yeah,
ghost.
yeah, yeah, you haven't got the saltire where I've got my St. George, no?
Certainly not the St. George. There'd be something
Yeah.
wrong there.
Yeah.
No, I've no tattoos.
I have to cover that up certain places I go, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy as well. Here we are today, and you would be conscious about showing that or presenting yourself with your national flag and deemed some kind of fucking nasty, racist
that's
bigot.
To shit lips, I may as well have the fucking swastika there or the black sun.
Yeah.
I'm not going to show them the black sun on my arse cheek.
Oh, you might get arrested for that.
But yeah, to shit libs, that may as well be. Do you remember that awful fucking big fat sweaty I never remember her name. Rags knows it. The MP, and she's driving past the council estate, and they've got the St George Cross flags out the window, and they were fucking.
Not sure.
There's clearly some racists who live here.
Well, remember Gordon Brown had a hot mic situation. And
yes, with the little old lady,
woman.
Yeah, bigoted lady. Yeah, silly old bigoted woman. Then he had to go around and didn't do the fucking the apology tour with a cup of tea and that. I hope she fucking wiped her quim on that cup.
Oh yeah, yep. Shot her fucking load in it.
It's for Gordon.
Oh man, that was comical.
He's in there. Look, I'm going to put it up on the screen because I do forget to do this, but I know Louise. I talked to Louise. Me and Louise have chatted over the phone and that. Bless her heart. She's my Welsh friend. She was paralysed after the vaccine, slowly getting back to walking. However, no physio for 5 weeks. I've had to pay private £60 an hour.
God's sake. That's terrible.
So,
that's terrible. Beautiful name, Louise, if you can see it.
Louise Owen, yeah, she's very Welsh. She lives in a house, and I believe her walls are like a meter thick, so she should be all right. Come the bomb,
come the nuclear blast.
come the blast.
That's another constant threat as well. You know,
they've had that over your head for 80 years, mate.
Yeah, and it's sort of looms in with the World War III scenario, just sort of hovering above everybody's head, keeping them in fear. And you know how the UK, the West, if you like, will blame Russia, and Russia probably will blame the West. So they use each other when it's actually themselves that are causing the internal issues, but they'll blame it on the Russians like we do, or they'll fucking do it to us probably.
Rags has told me that MP is called Emily Thornberry, so Rags must be lurking. Good to see you, Rago.
Yep, good to see you, Rags. Good luck with your new house. When's the warming? I hope I'm getting an invite. I'll bring the whiskey.
You're only allowed to come if you bring 1 bottle of Buckfast and 5 tablets of very strong Dutch ecstasy.
You've got to be juiced and wear a mask.
yeah, fully vaxxed.
You've got to have had all your 98,000 boosters.
Oh god, there's still like fucking shit libs out there wearing t-shirts like with their little badge going, I'm on my 6th booster and that. Like, it's like you keep smiling, mate. You won't be forever. Trust me that, you know. What do you make of this John O'Looney character?
Interesting fella. I've been watching him since he came on the scene. I know Richie Allen reckons he's a good for nothing grifter.
Right. Okay. Because he did go from like this is the shit I'm pulling out of bodies to all of the migrants are United Nations Army.
Yeah.
He did make that crossover quite quickly, and I thought,
Yeah, to be honest, I do.
I don't believe that, by the way. I think these are just adventure boys. I think they are here for the gigs, and that's it. They're not here to round us up or fucking. I wouldn't be surprised if they could easily, if the government wanted them to turn guns on us. I think they easily would. But I don't think that's their initial mission.
Yeah, I mean, these days, I wouldn't rule anything out. I've not seen, personally, I've not seen it in that respect, but. I would not rule it out. I would not rule it out, man.
But they've got there's like, you're not going to get the regular army to draw its weapons on the civilians of this country.
Exactly. Yep. You will if you dilute it.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yep.
What do people think in the chat? These amyloid plaques that are literally like filling up your main veins to your heart, your arteries and that. And he's like, I've never seen anything like it before. And he's got jars and jars of them behind him. Is this something that he's just fucking created with a bit of Play-Doh? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I thought he was an undertaker. Why is he fucking
Well, that's
pulling
what I
shit
think
out of
he
bodies?
is. I think he works on bodies. I believe he works on bodies. But to go from that to saying like, oh yeah, every one of these boat migrants, they're being taken somewhere, trained up, they're going to be given a fucking pistol or a machine gun, and they're going to be rounding you up and putting you in camps.
Yeah, it's interesting because
Did he
obviously
just
going
fall
back.
down a massive fucking false rabbit hole?
Possibly. I mean, that's what I was going to say. If you go back to 2020, people like John appeared. Well, beyond 2020, he appeared for obvious reasons. Because I don't doubt they would have been seeing a lot of people coming in, and seemingly it was COVID and what have you. But obviously, when that kind of dies away, what do they talk about then? They can't just continue to talk about 2020. So they've got to kind of find, and it's interesting to see where these people are kind of diving into. In one hand, it could mean they're basically there to do as they're told by an agency, let's say. But it could mean that they do get some success from it, whether it be a profit or they like the.
How's he profiting though?
Well, I mean, there could be that could be an incentive.
Is it purely a buy me a coffee grift?
Well, I don't know. Because you couldn't imagine it would be that much, to be fair. But it could be enough to keep it going. It could be enough to be making his life possibly that wee bit better. Which, I mean, I don't hold against him. And if he's being honest and open, I respect that. But I think Richie Allen was quite quick on calling him out. And I mean, it's debatable for me, but anything he says, I would take it with a pinch of salt. And that's the case with everybody anyway. You've got to. You can't jump the gun. But he's an interesting character. I did follow him quite a bit. These days, I don't. It's very rare. I'm quite limited in the time I've got for content consumption, if you like.
Do you work full time?
Squeeze in what I can. Yeah, full time. Plus, I'm still finishing my college part time, so I'm.
Oh wow!
I'm currently at a point where I kind of think, fucking hell, I've bit off a lot more than I can chew, but I'm so close. It would be stupid to throw it away now. So,
Wolfie, good to see you in the chat there, my friend. Thanks for joining
Wolfie.
us.
Good to see everyone.
Fucking fantastic dude. Love Wolfie. Got an uncle who's an undertaker. He's pretty involved all round. Talks with embalmers, autopsy doctors, etc. Have you heard anything about these? They're essentially like bloody white worms, aren't they? That fill your blood vessels. Is what it looks like to me. The jab made Kate's boob grows. Ah, see now I'm might be a little bit behind them. I jest, by the way. And Sean wants proof, which is fair enough.
Yeah, we all want proof now.
Yeah,
come
we
on,
all want.
Show us the
evidence.
evidence.
You send it to me, and I'll get it out to the guys. I promise.
To be honest,
like that. No, not only do they grow, they get a bit hairy and all.
Yeah, we'd kind of need to see them in person, to be honest.
Yeah. Kate, when are you coming on for a live stream to prove that you're
after our stream?
Only rags. Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mad world when you think back to that scenario. I'm glad it's in the past, but I'm cautious and I hope people learn from it. But I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I keep saying, look, people need to focus on their own community. That's what they can change. Forget about the world outside of that.
Forget
Because if
about
we
electoral
all do that,
politics.
yeah, if we all do that, we can make a difference. I feel
What's your community like? Are you quite involved
it's
in it?
quite
Do
good.
people know who
It's
you are?
improving. Yeah, it's improving. It kind of died away in terms of a community. It died away as the town grew bigger, but it's kind of coming back. There's smaller villages outside of here. They've got a much better community, knitted community, caring community, different wee villages and towns. And you see it because we maintain the pitches in them and in the cemeteries. So you get to know it and you get to see it. And it's great. I would, if it was up to me, I'd probably move out into the smaller
Yeah.
villages, but it's not too bad here. Do you know what? Because a lot of people, when I try and
That's
take it,
a I don't say this flippantly, but that's a white people thing to go and maintain graveyards.
oh yeah, without a doubt. Yep, I'd agree
You
with
go
that.
and
I
yeah,
don't do it for nothing, to be fair, but
you know.
yeah, I don't mind it.
I remember there was an All Saints Church, a St Michael's Church down by me, and these people would have been buried in the 1800s, so much so that the weathering on their gravestones, which is only what they use limestone, don't they? Which is very, very, very porous, and you couldn't even read really what was on
Hmm.
these stones
Yeah,
anymore,
it's
and
probably still on
trees had
stone.
uprooted
Yeah,
them and stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah, a lot of that. We get a lot of that here as well. A lot of
yeah.
them are rural. They're classed as rural cemeteries that we cut, and they're quite historic. It's quite interesting as well. I don't know if you heard when I mentioned before about there's a small graveyard here in a town called Fochabers, in Gaddafi's
Say
personal
that town name again.
Fochabers.
Fuck about. Fuck
Fochabers.
about.
Fochabers.
Oh, sorry, I'm laughing at that. I shouldn't be. Go on, carry on.
Yeah. Yeah, well, my dad always said get to Fochabers, so he thought it was quite funny as well. But yeah, there's a pilot buried there who was Gaddafi's personal pilot from 1970 to 1979.
And how the hell did he end up with fucking in
Yeah,
fuck
well,
about?
he was originally from England, served in the Royal Navy, and then ended up Gaddafi's pilot and moved up to Scotland and got buried here. Built his own house, quite a big sort of mansion. Um,
It's just when you said that, I had
mhm.
this like weird sort of electric sort of from left to right fucking hemisphere there. Like, hang on a
Yeah.
minute, Libya, Scotland, Gaddafi, Lockerbie.
Interesting. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting because I had never known until a couple of weeks ago when I was at the cutting the grass there, and I thought, "Fucking hell!"
What
So I
you
looked
do?
up on it.
You're a groundsman.
Well, pretty much, yeah, pitches and stuff like
That's
that.
what I'd like to get into, something like that.
Aye, it's decent enough. But yeah, I mean, there's another one in Elgin where I'm at, and it's dedicated to an individual who died on the Titanic. He was from Elgin here, and I never even knew it was there. I mean, it's nothing really, but little things that I'd missed in the past.
I listened to a podcast about how they uh, sorted the dead out from the Titanic. What was it? It was a couple of thousand, wasn't it? And
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think there was one child, one 7-year-old boy who was never claimed. And it turns out that his whole family had died anyway. So they couldn't identify him because there was no one to identify him. But
Mhm.
basically, the local religious people really took the body of this boy under their wing, and they gave him a fantastic grave, and it was well maintained and looked after and stuff. In was it Halifax? Is it Halifax it ended up in?
Well, I'm not sure.
Newfoundland, that way, where a lot of the bodies ended up because there was boats out for weeks picking
Yeah,
up.
I thought a lot of them weren't recovered, but I'm unsure. I'm unsure.
Mm,
And then even with that, what do you believe? To be honest, so
yeah,
I'm unsure. The whole Titanic, that's a whole other fucking 3 hours.
Oh, hang on a minute. Are you telling me you know about the Titanic Olympic swap over?
Well, I've
If
seen.
you want to do a show on that in a couple of weeks, I will definitely get my research for it.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I'd be
Mm-hmm.
up for that. We
Sweet,
could do
we'll
a
do
joint.
that then.
If you wanted to do any other the topics I've covered in the past, like Apollo or Lockerbie, would be an interesting one to get
We kind of
into
covered
again.
Lockerbie, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Kind of covered Lockerbie, but yeah, if you want to do the
9/11
Olympic, if
possibly.
you want to do the Olympic Titanic swap over, we could do it on your channel if you wanted, and
Mhm.
because you're quite more au fait with being able to play clips and stuff like that. So
Getting
yeah,
there.
we'll talk about that offline. We've still got 20 minutes to go anyway. So
Cool. Oh, cramp.
I've been listening to a lot of Randall Carlson lately. What do you make of Randall Carlson?
But I don't think I know him, to be honest.
He's the guy with the big
I'm
grey
terrible.
hair. Big grey hair.
Uh,
He's on Rogan all the time, and his thing is
oh,
the whole Younger Dryas, the whole cataclysms that he sort of ended the last ice age and stuff.
all right.
Oh, he's fantastic, man. You should be. I know that there's only so many hours in a day, Buana. You know, only so many hours in a day you can be
Mhm.
out there harvesting bananas, right? But yeah, he's fantastic, and they were talking about the hollow moon theory
Oh yeah. Yep.
this week.
That's an
When
interesting one.
yeah, when allegedly one of the LEMs, the lunar ejector modules,
It hit the
dropped
moon.
something. It hit the moon, and then it rang like a bell for 2.5
Mhm.
hours, which shouldn't happen if something's solid.
Mhm. But just
So
all it meant is it was 12 o'clock.
yeah, that's it.
Nah, do you know what? I know that I remember reading about that years ago, and I've looked at it quite a few times because it's one of these theories that I would like it to be true. Do you know? Similar to
Yeah.
the hollow Earth theory. It's
Mm.
one of these. It kind of catches my
Oh, you want about
imagination.
like Admiral Byrd flying into that huge
Yeah,
cavern down in
yeah.
the Antarctic, yeah, and seeing like
Mhm.
alien fucking.
I mean, I don't believe it, but I'd like to entertain it as a
Mm,
thought. But I wouldn't put
mm.
any weight behind it. I mean, Admiral Byrd was obviously a well-connected man
And I mean, it goes
in a
back
high.
to the Nazis down there with New Schwabenland as well, doesn't it?
Mhm, yeah.
There is some pact, isn't there, that no nation can own Antarctic, a bit like the moon, basically.
Yeah, that's right. The treaty, I think.
Treaties, yeah. So
Mhm.
no one can take a claim to the place, but they. Do you know what went quiet? Do you remember that a few months ago? There was that South African crew down there, and they were locked in there for 6 months. And the one of the women had been like sexually assaulted by one of the other African dudes
Well,
on it.
I never seen it. No.
Yeah, that was crazy. That it's amazing to think because the news cycle now isn't you coming home from work or my dad in his time or your dad in his time coming home from work. Mum's got the food on. He sat there with pie and chips, whatever. I'll put the 6 o'clock news on and see what's happened today. It's just a constant
Yeah.
24-hour cycle of bullshit, isn't it? And it just depends
Oh, yeah.
what you want to
Constant.
take from that.
You can't get away from
Yeah,
it. That's what I mean. Even in the supermarket that day. But
yeah.
I mean, if you're not out somewhere in a public place, in a supermarket, for example, but then your phone, I mean, you get pinged. You'll get every fucking news outlet asking, "Oh, we're going to send you notifications." And some people they're constantly getting breaking news. The BBC intro. One of my lecturers, he had that, and it was like every hour the kind of
Oh yeah.
BBC
What like
notification.
as a nudge, as a push on your phone?
Yeah,
You hear the yeah.
so you can't.
God.
I mean, people can't escape it, man. They
I
genuinely
think
can't
that's
escape
by
it.
design, though. I think
Oh
that's by
yeah,
design.
yep.
It's by design. It's
They
it's
find
it's,
a way
con-
to get you.
it's constantly shaping your views, your opinions. You
Yeah,
know.
Well, behavioural science as well. So they'll
behavioural science. Yeah, weirdly
manipulate.
enough, right? So I heard this tonight. You know the fucking absolute dysgenic mutant that shot at Trump in I forget the name of the place now. The first one where we couldn't put snipers on that roof because it was sloped. Well, it was so sloped that when they shot him, he just dropped and didn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's how sloped it was. Matthew Crooks. Is that right?
You were breaking up there.
Matthew Crooks. Was it Matthew Crooks?
Oh, yeah. Fucking weird-looking crater, him as well.
Oh, yeah. Very dysgenic. Yeah, very dysgenic. Both his parents. So that house, right, got scrubbed. Yeah. He had 8 phones. He was using, like, VPNs and blah, 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 blah. None of this has come out yet. And both his parents were behavioural scientist consultants.
Interesting. I never knew that.
Nor did I till today.
That is interesting.
Butler, Pennsylvania.
What do you think happened there?
What do I think happened there? Well, a complete lack of security. The Secret Service and security were a complete letdown. It was allowed to happen. The guy was carrying around a fucking foldable ladder with him. He'd already been stopped with a rangefinder, hadn't he? And he had a rangefinder on him. And that was given back to him. Climbed up on the roof. You've got the whole crowd going, he's up there, look, he's got a fucking gun, he's got a gun. Pop, 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 pop. Really, really, really like comic relief from the Secret Service. You had like who's that comedy actor, Melissa McCarthy. It was like that, wasn't it?
Yep.
So yeah, it could well and truly be MK Ultra type of shit. I think.
Yeah, I think so. Do you think there was actually a bullets that got fired?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I don't think Trump's like one of them fucking wrestlers who cuts himself with a fucking leg. I do think bullets are fired. I think they wanted the world to see Donald Trump's head opened up like a fucking cantaloupe melon for the world to see. I think that was the plan.
I bet would they have missed though?
Would he have missed?
Would they have missed if that was the plan? I mean, that was the plan for JFK. Certainly never missed him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a strange one. There's so much to it. When it comes to me, I'm a bit unsure in terms of if something actually got fired, but I don't know. I wouldn't rule it out. These people, they tend to get attempts on their life. In a sense, they kind of should, you'd imagine. You'd think that would be kind of part and parcel in most of the world, being who they are and what they do. I mean, when you look at the UK government, in terms of mass murdering, fucking hell, they are way up there. So it would not surprise me if someone was to take a pop. And I mean, I know we had that Starmer, the house situation, but I don't think that's quite that scenario.
I didn't ask you a funny meme, William. You know that footage of, well, it's a still photo where someone's leaning into President Bush's ear, basically telling him there's a second plane that's flown into the Trade, like the other World Trade Center. It's that, but it's Keir Starmer and one of his aides going, they've arrested a third Ukrainian twink rent boy. Listen, you always pay the piper, mate. You always pay the piper. If that's your thing, Ukrainian rent boys, don't leave them waiting for their money. Don't leave them waiting for their money. They've sucked and fucked and done whatever you want for them, right? How did they know? Right, it's one of two things, the way I see it. They were definitely rent boys. Keir Starmer's and he loves all that. The young fucking Eastern European type who can do push-ups off his cock and all that, right? Or it's either Ukrainian or it's either Ukrainian false flag or a Russian false flag. Mm-hmm. I think they're your options there.
Yeah, I think he's just a fucking sleazy scumbag who's not paid the rent boys, but they'll spin it again. That's what they'll do, and it doesn't matter if a story's organic, true or false. They'll use it and spin it in any fucking way they want, regardless of what the truth actually is. And as far as I'm aware, it's common knowledge that Starmer is a bit of a fucking a bit happy and a bit.
He's definitely light on his loafers, mate. That whole marriage is what you call a lavender marriage, mate.
It was the same in Scotland. It's got exact same with Nicola Sturgeon and her husband.
Yeah, both. And he was queer. He was queer. She was queer, right? And it was like, right, so. It's not, like the Scots aren't ready for a couple of queers, so we're just pretending. They never had kids, did they?
Mm-hmm. No. See, I mean, it's fucking terrible, though. What kind of world are we in where they have to do that, and we're presented with these sort of fucking idiots that are seemingly wielding some form of say over us? I mean, who are fucking they to be telling us, the people that work and live on this land, and we're being just walked all over by these fucking absolute psychotic, greedy bastards, man.
Degenerate. I think you missed the word out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think they're that. I mean, yeah, they are stupid, but they're just doing us over, and there's no empathy, there's no care. They might present it in that way, but they're empty, they're soulless fucking entities, man.
Before Tony Blair got into power, he was charged with soliciting in public toilets under the name Linton. He used his middle name
Linda.
or something. Linton Anthony Blair, like down in one of these public toilets, just like looking over, going, "Oh, touch it."
He was a fucking freak as well, and a psychotic little fucking freak.
But it shows on him, doesn't it? I think evil shows on you over time. Like, you end up looking like the person you are, and he looks demonic now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he does. He looks like Satan. He just oozes evil. You can see it, and that's another guy that, I mean, you'd throw away the key. He would not be getting out. He just wouldn't.
Listen, I think people like him and George Bush Jr. W. Right, like, have you seen him? Have you seen footage of him where he's just like looking into space at things that aren't there, just like fairies and unicorns that aren't there? Now, I'm convinced that these people have got such guilt on their conscience that they have to be heavily, heavily sedated just to get through the day.
Yep, I would not rule that out, to be honest. A lot of the times I tend to think, the MK Ultra's failing. So they're needing updated. They're needing an update on their dose, maybe. But yeah, you could be right. It's funny. Do you know when I've been covering obviously Apollo 11, in one of the videos that I recently done, Buzz Aldrin made a comment and he said, given the chance to kind of go back and change it, he said, if I had the freedom to choose, I might have went on a different flight. And I thought, wait a minute, the freedom to choose. So was that Buzz saying, look, I didn't have a choice? Because I've kind of pointed to the theory in the past where if you look at Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, not only do they not want to be there, it's like they're being forced to be there.
You know what, Armstrong in particularly?
Yeah, definitely. And when Buzz said that, I thought, fuck, wait a minute, he's maybe dropped the ball there and telling us there was no choice in it. They either had to do it because they were being blackmailed, or, I mean, that would be the most valid reason. Do you know how they get stuff on people? They done it with Epstein and all his clients and the politicians. Well, NASA a lot of them were the same, and even the guy Frank Borman, the first man, one of the first men in space, seemingly, he was on the. He was on the. No, it wasn't Frank Borman. Who was it? Oh shit! What's his name again? Oh fuck! I can't remember his name, but he was one of the first men in space, and he's on the flight log for Epstein. And I just kind of feel that not only were they lying, but they were forced to lie about it, and it had to be them. There was no choice in the matter. And when you look at Buzz Aldrin as well, that video that I made, he talks about his mother committed suicide 2 months before the announcement for Apollo 11. She took her own life, and he's saying, "Oh, I think it might have been because obviously they got some of the fame through Gemini. They got the parade, and it was this big famous hero. And I mean, you'd be so proud of your fucking son. You would be over the moon, if you pardon the pun. But for some reason, this haunted her, and to the point where she took her own life 2 months before Apollo 11 got announced. And see, when you think about that, though, right? You're talking about a man who just lost his mum to suicide, previously lost his grandfather to suicide, and you're going to put him on a mission, locked away with 2 other men for days on end in a tin can to the moon. Do you think that would be safe? Do you think they would not sit there and think, well, wait a minute, Buzz maybe we'll replace Buzz Aldrin just in case to be on the safe side? I mean, his mum
he
just
might be a little bit.
Yeah, do you know?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting one. I mean, I know it was the 1960s.
Listen, we're coming up to 8:30. Are you free to go for another 15, 20, or do you want to wrap it up?
No, I am. We can easily go another half till 9 o'clock if you want.
Right, we'll go till 9, but just give me 2 minutes to have a quick piddle and I'll be back.
Maybe people have had enough, to be honest. So
no, never.
they might not want us to continue, but yeah, we'll let Jack get away and do his thing. So we'll go a wee bit longer. When am I next going to be on? Come to think of it, possibly Friday night. In fact, yeah, it will be Friday night. I don't know what it's going to be about. So probably geoengineering or Apollo. Someone said the guy's name there, John Glenn. Indeed, Illuminatus. That's who it was, John Glenn. It was fucking, his name was on the tip of my tongue, and I could not get it. It was John Glenn, and he was in the black book or the flight log, sorry, for I always forget the name of the aircraft. Latoya, something like that. But I mean, that's another whole can of worms. The whole Epstein scenario is, which is ongoing as well, and it's another one of these. It's called a kind of collective sort of fixation on a particular issue, similar to Madeleine McCann. There's a gigantic collective fixation on this missing fucking individual, even though there's millions of kids that are missing that people don't care about. But yet, Madeleine McCann, they're gonna give their life and money to try and help find her. Even still today, I mean, over the past since 2007, the McCann family have soaked up 13.5 million of taxpayers' money. And yet the average kid, the average family who loses a child, has a missing child, they get less than $2,000. That's it. That's fucking it.
Can I just tell you, it's a little bit of a funny, right? But do you remember when the family of Shannon Matthews tried to do that hoax that she was missing?
Oh,
do you remember this, right? Yeah. It was some big fat fucking council house woman who just, you know that everything she eats is from Iceland, and it's just, but regardless of that, she tried to fool the British public into thinking that her daughter had been abducted, right? Mm-hmm. And there was all T-shirts made, Find Shannon Matthews.
That's right.
Just white T-shirts with black writing on. Now, you know, when you go to these bins where you put clothes in that go to the third world.
A clothes bank.
clothes banks, but they're like the bins, and you put your clothes in, and then you shut it up, and then The funniest thing I ever saw was 3 African children, and one of them was wearing a fine Shannon Matthews. I'm sorry, but that really fucking tickled me. That did.
Oh fuck! Oh man! Should I tell them or will you?
Oh, she was under one of her mates' beds or something, wasn't she?
Fucking hell! Mind you, could be worse. They could be wearing a Man United top. So,
well, that's the thing as well, isn't it? You get the 1992 Sharp View Cam.
yeah.
Man United top. Fucking brilliant. Jeez. Oh, keep me up my fucking headphones in. Oh, so what are you on tonight then, William? I'm on the old fucking strong stuff. I'm on the old. Do you remember
just coffee?
Cider?
Not really. No, don't think
8.4
so.
boy.
Not bad. I don't mind cider. You know the Henry Weston.
Oh, what, the vintage?
Yeah, I quite like
but
that.
you only need 6 bottles of that, and that's it. You're snoozing for the rest of the fucking night.
Yep. Yeah, quite like
See,
it.
I prefer quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying this is quality, by the way. This God knows what sulfites and fucking. It's probably never seen an apple, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm not a big drinker, to be fair. I used to quite a bit, but my body can't. I can't do it.
What about other stuff? Do you take any other stuff?
Single malt whiskey, and I quite recently, of late, Morgan Spice, and a bit of Coke. Not cocaine, but
not cocaine. Have you done cocaine?
Pretty much, almost every drug apart from crack and heroin.
See,
but you're talking in my teens.
Funny because my story is I'd done every drug and I loved them, and then after just before, when I got the news that my old man was terminal and that, I linked up with a guy, and I was like, can I get a bag sniff? And he's like, I've only got rocks. I was like, well, what do I do with that? He goes, put it on a pipe and smoke it. I was like, okay. I goes, what else you got? He goes, a bit of heroin. I was like, do us a bag of that as well. And that, next 6 years was my life. But I've been off it 6 years now, so it's all good.
Well, that's good, because it's quite rare that you'll meet people.
Listen, I am one of the rare humans that used the methadone program and used it, and didn't just use it as a crutch to be able to use every week. Mm-hmm. I actually weaned myself off it and came off it all. So,
fair play, good on you. Yeah, it's it's a growing epidemic here.
Well, in your little town, you can go and pour fucking crack and heroin.
Easy. Oh yeah,
it's mad. It's mad, because that's how my town got, and it was all foreigners. It was all blacks and Turks and Indians, like Pakistanis and that. But I could get it. I could every day I'd wake up and my phone would go brr, 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 text on active 3 for 25 all morning, tempting you, and then eventually you'd be like, fuck it, and it would be at my door in 10 minutes.
Easy.
Yeah,
I said that to I was talking about this, me and my wife were talking about it, because it's quite bad here, and it seems to be everywhere. It seems to, even like the small villages about here, it's kind of making its way. A lot of young people on it, people that I never expected or would have thought would have ever taken drugs, have ended up on with a crack habit. I'm telling you,
right? There's a link. There is definitely a link between the way that the native people are expected to live nowadays. Yeah, like with fuck all. And even listen, the welfare state was only ever set up as like a fucking safety net, that if you got injured or you lost your job, like the factory shut down or things happened, it was meant to catch you and then help you back up into society, right? But the welfare state now is like a choice. Like there are like generations, great granddads, granddads, dads, and sons who have never worked a day in their life and know how to work the system. And they've all got fucking Audis. They've all got 72-inch TVs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I kind of see it. I mean, I agree with that, and they always have multiple gains from a particular agenda, but it was like a big stepping stone towards this universal credit and universal income, the kind of end game where everybody's to fucking bow down to the powers that be. And that'll come eventually with the whole cashless situation. And when, because I've mentioned that before, when they talk about cashless, people think of it as, well, there's no notes or coins, but you'll have money. But in reality, it doesn't mean that. It means you will have no money. Full stop.
Well, listen,
That's what they mean.
So universal basis, right. So I at the moment I'm on universal credit, right, which is pittance. It's like 400 quid a month, right? Yeah, which I get paid twice a month. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough. If I wasn't in the situation I was with Rags, like I'd have to have housing benefit and shit like that, right? And on top of, say I was in a house and they paid housing benefit for, say it was 500 quid, yeah? And they paid that for me, right? And I got my 400 quid on top of that. That means out of that 400 quid, for 31 days, I've got to get food, oil, gas, mobile phone, fuel for my car, insurance for my car, tax for my car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And is that with you paying your own rent, or?
No, that's with them paying my rent. That's with like a housing
Yeah.
benefit kind of situation,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know. So
Yeah, you've kind of got to work 2 jobs. I mean, that's the way it is now. If you're not working 7 days a week, as a couple, even a married couple,
mate,
two people.
the thing is, before the shit hit the fan for me, and I had to come up here a couple of months ago, me and the missus were we were all right. Like
Mm-hmm.
between our wages, we were fine. We could live quite well. We could even go and do a shop at Marks and Sparks once a month and get some nice stuff.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? I
fucking
know.
millionaires.
But not right now because they've got nothing on the fucking shelves, have they? Because of the cyber attack.
Yeah, right enough. Well, I noticed actually, funny you mentioned that, because the other day I was in the co-op, Scott Mid, I think it's called. It's a co-op. And they had a similar sign talking about difficulties with deliveries, and I thought, fucking hell. But that's becoming more. That's kind of something that's creeping in gradually. It's not like boom, there's nothing. The shelves are empty. It's slowly but surely, issue by issue, stuff's getting bare.
Yeah, but we're not at the point now where there's a mile-long queue outside the bakery, are we? And you to pay for that loaf of bread, which has got to sustain your entire family, you've got to have a wheelbarrow full of fucking Deutschmarks.
Mm-hmm.
We're not there yet, are we?
Nah, but it's the kind of wheels are in motion. You know, when you look at it in the long run, in terms of the trajectory of where it's going, especially when they're cramping up the whole. It's going to be a war.
Do you think we're going to have bread lines in this country?
I kind of can't see it. I can't see it unless we're under some form of similar to the pandemic situation. I can see it then. In a kind of the way we are now, I doubt it. To be honest, I doubt it. But it could come. I mean, if they do want to achieve this, you'll own nothing, and you'll somehow be happy.
I already do that. My entire music collection, right? I used to have tapes, CDs, vinyls. Now everything's on my phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't own it. I can stream it. Thank you very much. I can listen to any song that's ever been made by a human possible. but I don't own it. I don't sit there with a gatefold LP cover looking at all the artwork and reading all the inlays like you used to be able to do, reading the lyrics and stuff. It's already kind of here, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Because of the situation. I mean, like when I was all right and I was living up back where I was, I used to pay Sky TV, £30 a month to be able to watch the Grand Prix. I had to cancel that. I have to now I have to watch people watching the Grand Prix. That's where I'm at.
Oh, yeah,
and it's the only vice I've really got. I don't like Wendy Ball, as Louise calls it. I don't like football.
There's one you can go at called VIP League, a website you can go on. You get the Formula One.
I know that if I tried my fucking hardest, I could probably find it live in Latvian.
I liked it when it was on the BBC. I thought it was good on that when the BBC covered it, and then fucking Sky got
and Channel 4 covered it for a bit as well.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad on Channel 4.
Sky TV, and it's the only thing that, like, I really sort of like, it was Monaco this weekend, which is the worst race of the fucking season anyway, because it's just a procession. Do you know they even tried to make it interesting this year with a mandatory 2-stop? So you had to change tires twice, because what happened the year before? There was a red flag on the second lap, so everyone came in and put the hards on, and the top 10 finished at the top 10.
Fuck's sake!
Yeah. So anyway, that's a bit sort of nerdy, but I've not got that anymore. I've not got Netflix anymore. I've not got Now TV anymore. I've not got Amazon Prime anymore because I can't afford it. But I know I can't afford it. So, but the only one I do still pay, which pisses me off that I still have to pay it, is Netflix. YouTube.
Oh yeah.
$12.99 a month, because it is the most. It's the thing I'm for the studio, and it is the thing I watch the most. And I don't want to watch adverts for absolute bullshit all day.
Yep, same. I'm the same. I couldn't go back to.
But does it hurt you? Does it hurt you paying these fucking $12.99 a month?
I mean, my wife does say she'll say, "Oh, do you really need it?" But I mean, not to a degree where
your wife sounds like she's really on top with money and like what goes in and what goes out.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah,
someone has to be.
Does she do all the books?
Pretty much, yeah. She's the accountant.
God bless her. What's your wife's name?
Lisa. She gets to count the spider webs in the wallet.
Well, let me ask you, what does Lisa think about your way of the world, the way you see the world? Does she accept it? Does she believe it? Does she just go, "Oh, that's just fucking him. That's just Willie"?
A kind of mixture of all that, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I think over time she has kind of thought, "Oh, wait a minute, I think he might be right about that," and he's maybe not speaking she does sometimes think that I get a wee bit carried away, but
do you know what?
I do try and explain that I have to, if I'm looking into a topic, I've got to dig deep and I've got to watch it and go over it and scrutinise it. So you've got to kind of do the legwork. I can't just give it 2 minutes of my time. I've got to, which to someone else might look like it's a bit too much or obsessive. But if you really want to get to know a topic, you've got to do the legwork.
Yeah, and you don't need every 30 seconds an advert for, what's that new thing they're trying to make us take now? That blue thing that you put in your drink?
Oh, I don't know. I don't get the adverts.
It looks like ink that you put in your drink. It's just another fad. But this is the thing, this is why see, me and my ex, it wasn't really a problem between me and her. It was a third wheel that came along, right? I'll put it like that. And like meeting someone who was already completely based, completely J-pilled, like the Grand Prix, right? I was like, all my fucking ducks have come into a row, but there's always something that's got a fucking, do you know what I mean? Fuck it up for you in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True. Story of my life, that.
Yeah.
The story of my life. And just when I spoke to my wife the other day, we were talking about the situation with the drug situation in Elgin in Scotland. And I was saying, look, if there is a war on drugs, then drugs have won it. They've won it. Clearly they've fucking won it. But in reality, there is no war on drugs. I mean, if there was, they could stop it tomorrow. The same goes
Isn't
with
it mad? Here's one for you. Isn't it mad? In America now, you can't get heroin anymore.
Is that right?
You probably could if you really, 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 really tried, right?
Yeah.
But
is it not down to supply and demand, though?
Yeah, but it's all fentanyl now.
Mm-hmm.
Which is 1,000 times stronger and 1,000 times more likely to fucking kill you. It's a bioweapon. And the precursors and the chemicals all come from China.
Shock
you see?
Mm-hmm.
Shock horror. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's sweeping right across the world, that fucking shit.
Yeah, well...
that won't be organic. It won't be organic. It'll be...
No, heroin is not... fentanyl is not from the poppy.
No, but I mean, it won't be organic, that it's kind of manifested and spreading across the world.
Yeah, but you mean organic twice there, because a heroin comes from a poppy. It's processed, yes, but it has to come from a poppy.
Mm-hmm.
The opium poppy, right? Fentanyl is just a synthetic version, but a lot stronger.
Ah. You sound like you know it quite well.
I've never tried fentanyl.
I don't think I would. I'm past that age now where it's like, nah, I've had my fun. I wouldn't waste my time now.
Now you're a Scottish lad, right? And I know the Scottish lads, they like their fucking music techno and they like it fucking hard, right? You know what I'm saying, huh?
Aye.
Aye, right. So were you ever a techno boy? Like Scott Brown and Mark Smith and that?
Yeah, hardcore. UK hardcore.
I was a big UK hardcore.
Yeah, UK hardcore.
Wee bit German
trance. Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh boy. We need to get in touch and swap some playlists then, my friend.
Cool. Yep.
I DJ'd UK hardcore for years. I got Mark Smith mashed one night, by the way.
Oh yeah, Mark Smith, cool. Yep. I think I did go to see Mark. Do you know the guy Marky G?
Marky G, yeah. If he used to smash fucking records off his head.
Oh yeah, he was mental. He was mad. He was crazy. But it was always good.
Met Marky G a few times as well. Yeah. And who was your other guy from up there? I fucking love.
Malarkey Lee.
He did a great remix of a Timo Mash tune.
We had that Public Domain.
But were they Scottish, were they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did the remix of the Bass in Your Face London, right?
Yep. Went to see them as well. That was good. And they changed it to Bass to the Place Elgin, which is pretty cool.
Bass in Your Face Elgin.
Yeah, so that was good. Good night in the town hall. Night to remember. When ecstasy was good.
Scott Brown. I met Scott Brown once, and I was with a Scottish fella we used to call Mole, and he was off his tits, right? Like all primitive. And he went Scott Brown. He goes, some say you're the greatest Scottish DJ in the world.
More racism, just shocking.
No, it's not racism, mate. It's what is it? If it's not racism, it's
stereotyping. It's fucking something. It's discrimination.
Discrimination.
I'll just throw every label at it. It's got to be one of them.
That's it, mate.
It's hateful. It's harmful. That's what my channel's been deemed now. Harmful.
Your channel's been deemed harmful?
Pretty much, yeah. That's the tagline it's got. So
Right, so I'm literally, I couldn't actually quite believe it. I was on 64 subscribers, and when I checked this morning, I don't check every morning. I'm not like one of them fucking nerds, but I checked in. It was like 84 subscribers. I've got 20 subscribers in a night. Thank you very much. I think you've got to
Good
have
man.
500 to actually make any fucking pennies off it. Do you make any pennies off this?
Well, I've been, I think, for about 2 years now. Well, nearly the best part of 2 year. Because my channel's deemed dangerous and harmful, I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to make money from it.
No
So
monetization. Yeah.
it's quite.
Do you ever buy me a coffee or?
I don't. Nah, I don't. I don't bother. I don't. I mean, people have
Uh,
not got money, to be honest. And I
listen.
get it. I get it. And I'm not up. I'm not. I'm not. I don't. Luckily enough, we don't struggle. So we get by. Do you know what I mean? So it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's the content that I enjoy creating. So
Exactly. Exactly. I enjoy this, and you know, like I've never asked anyone for a penny ever.
mhm.
Like
Yeah, I don't mind it. I do pay
I
people.
have
I
had
do
a few
donate.
pennies on
Yeah.
Rags's channel. Rags comes on and goes, look, if you want to donate, there's some links there. If you
Mhm.
don't, it doesn't matter. We'd rather you follow us on Rumble and Odyssey, right?
Yeah.
But a few people have been kind enough to put their hand in their fucking pocket, and every now and
Mhm.
again, Rags has gone, "Oh, here's 20 quid for you, or here's 17 quid for you, or something like that." Like, I'm not talking like what world changing money where I can go and like, oh, I'm going to go down
Yeah.
to the MG garage today and see what I can afford.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but it's nice as well. I mean, people do. I can understand it, and I've got nothing against it. I mean, you're
yeah,
giving up your time and your effort, which is, I mean, why not? People, if people can donate to it, then so be it. A lot of people they they seem to think they should just get it for free and that's it, and nothing should be towards it. But I mean, I don't mind. There's stuff that I donate to. If I couldn't, then I wouldn't. So I always say, if people have not got the money,
exactly that.
don't give it away. Yeah,
When I've got a bit of spare cash, I do not throw. I do not mind throwing a few shekels at people that I watch regularly and keep me entertained.
yeah.
Here's a fiver. Here's a tenner. That's on me. Thank you.
hmm
It's
I donate to Richie Allen and one or two other people that my wife tends to also say, do you really need to? But I don't mind it. And I seen it. Richie was saying that he got arrested. Did you hear about that?
mm,
He
tell me
got
this.
arrested. Yeah, he said he got arrested before he was going
Recently,
on. Yeah, a couple of days ago. The police, I shouldn't laugh. The police came to his door and arrested him. They told him he needs to come down to the station to be questioned, and someone had put a complaint. They were being harassed by Richie. So I don't know. He says it's obviously he can't really talk about it just now, but it'll be interesting to see what the situation is.
all right. Do you lot want to see Rags's cat, the one that you hear all the time?
Let's see it. Has he got 4 legs?
Yeah, she is. This is Susie. She's a little demon. Yeah,
Oh,
look. Hello. You got my lead on you. Right, here you go.
or is he a wee ginger and white cat?
There you go.
What
Here's
is?
Susie. Little bit of fame for you. Hmm? She's 21 this August.
Wow.
That's some
Yikes.
age, isn't it?
For a cat, yeah.
Hey? Well, all you do is meow all day, innit? It don't matter. Don't matter what time of day. I hear her walking around the house when Rags is out, just meowing to no one.
Yep, a bit like me already.
Yeah.
So
So,
in cat years, she's probably about 200 year old.
oh yeah, she's fucking well old.
So doing
Yeah.
well. You know, I've had cats my whole life, and I love them. I'm a big fan of wildlife and birds of prey and cats. But do you know when you lose them it's fucking hard, man. It gets so hard, and
Mate,
no matter how many times you go through it, each time it just gets harder, man.
right. So when I moved in with Claire 3 years ago, she had it would have been a 4-year-old Staffy lady, 4-year-old Staffy, Bella. And me and her got this instant bond, and we were inseparable till the day I had to leave. And yeah, it's fucking. It still breaks my heart to this day. I can't look at pictures of her.
Yeah, it's hard. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I lost the most recent for us, my family, was a kitten that we had, and she was not, I think about maybe 9 months, 10 months old, and she had got hit by a car, and then had to get put down, and that was hard, man. It was fucking hard. It was the hardest thing ever. Honest to God, it was the hardest thing, and I spoke at
I
my
haven't
dad,
had to do it, mate. I haven't had to do it, but
I don't think I could do it again. I honestly don't think I could do it again. I think I would just have to let them see out their life, whatever's left of it. I honestly don't think I could make that call again. It's fucking hard, man.
Mm.
And that's twice I've had to do it, and I can't. I don't think I can do it again. So I don't know. We've still got a cat and we've got the dog, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm hoping when I can get settled next, I'll be able. Now, I probably won't be able to get a puppy because I'm going to need to be working, and a puppy is a full-time job for a couple of months.
Oh yeah.
You know? But I'm quite happy to take on like a middle-aged Staffy or something like that. You know, 5-6-year-old Staffy.
Rescue.
And your rescue, yeah. And
that was my dad. He always got rescue pets. He always said, "Well, why would you go and buy one when you can save one?" Basically.
Exactly. Yeah. USPCA, we have here, Ulster Society for the Protection of Animals and that. Yeah. So she's not my Bella anymore, Sheila. I'm afraid, Dottie. Unfortunately.
All right, Sheila. Good to see you, Sheila. And the fuse neck as well, Billy. Arms in the hood. Good to see everyone.
Yeah, it's been a good crowding tonight. And well, to be fair, we haven't really gone too fucking mental. To be fair, have we? It's just been more of a nice conversation more than anything.
Yep.
Yeah. So me and you will have a chat in Telegram, and you let me know. Well, what did we say we were going to do? Oh, the Titanic, yeah.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah. So me and you will have a chat, and we'll get a date. We'll get a date down for that.
Cool. Good man.
Good man yourself, mate. Listen, thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving me a couple of hours of your life. Really appreciate it. Anything else you want to say before you
go? Not really. To be honest, like I always tell people, enjoy yourself. Don't live in fear. Because I say it constant, time and time again. I say it to people because people can't forget that you're in control of your own life. You can control your own brain. It's so powerful. It's beyond belief, and they've kind of hid that from us. So you can train it. You can become whatever you want to become. And the first step to that is losing this fear of any sense of fear of the unknown, and just grabbing the bull by the fucking horns, man, and doing what you feel you need to do. And you'll get there, wherever there is. I'm adamant that if it's meant for you, a lot of the time it won't pass you. So you just go and follow your gut instinct. And like I always say, do not comply. That's the main rule as well. Non-compliance. And remember who number one is. You've got to look after yourself first and foremost. That's. I mean, even that we can forget. I've been guilty of that in the past, caring too much maybe about other things or other people, and I'm letting myself go a wee bit. you know. So you sort your own garden before you help your neighbour.
Yeah, well, no better word said then, mate. Well, listen, I'm back tomorrow, 7 p.m, and I have the wonderful, and it's going to be on her own. There's going to be no Mickey interference. I have the wonderful Mrs. Me in it on tomorrow, and she's been doing work for the last week because she's quite into her paranormal and sort of afterlife and spooky sort of stuff. So I'm going to let her run the gamut tomorrow, and yeah,
Cool.
I'll be
So
back.
ghost stories.
Ghost stories, yeah. I mean, I spoke to her today on the phone for an hour, and it's not just ghost stories that she's heard of people. It's stuff that's happened to her. So yeah, it should be interesting. So I hope to see some of you who are in the chat tonight. Thank you for everyone who's interacted in the chat. Really do appreciate that. Do a quick shout out if I can. That's to Sheila, Lumi, Al Mac. Good to see you, pal. Wolfie, Billy Blogs, Refusenik, Sean, Ams. Good to see you. I know you've got your pal over tomorrow, so you not might be around. Kate, good to see you, my lovely Wolfie. Yeah. Billy Blogs, Ragnar, and a few names I haven't seen who've hopefully subbed from your neck of the woods. All right, listen, William, thank you so much. Me and you will connect on Telegram, and we'll get this Titanic/Olympic stream sorted.
Ideal. Good man, Jack. Look forward to it. And I'll try and join in tomorrow.
No worries. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you so much, William. Really, really appreciate you coming on. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Just going to end it now. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.